26 fishermen escaped unharmed after their vessel caught fire in the south of Cape Point on Friday. Now, Cape Town Fire managed to contain the blaze while rescue teams have been helping crew members.
Absolutely. So a Transnet tugboat is now dragging the smouldering vessel to Hout Bay. For more on how the rescue operation unfolded, we are joined by NSRI spokesperson Craig Lambinon. Craig, thank you so much for your time and a very good morning to you. It definitely has been something of a contentious issue, but let's start off when it comes to the actual fire. Do we as yet have information in terms of the cause of the fire?
Faith and Morena, good morning. At this stage, the South African Maritime Safety Authority, they are launching an investigation into the fire, as well as the fishing company themselves. It's not usual for this to happen. I think the main thing that everybody's focused on at the moment is that all 26 fishermen are safe. The concern now is that that's a fishing vessel that is out of service. So those 26 fishermen either need to be redeployed, or they may even find themselves without work until they're redeployed. So really a shout out to them and their families, but highly commendable that they safely abandoned their vessel that was well ablaze into life rafts, and then to the Umfondini skipper and crew, the fishing vessel Umfondini, that did exceptionally well in very rough sea conditions to safely rescue all 26 fishermen from life rafts onto their vessel and bring them safely towards Simonstown before the NSRI could intervene and get them safely to shore.
It's not usual for this to happen. That's what you've just said now, Craig. Now, we don't want to cast aspersions, right? But are we potentially considering arson in this particular case?
No, I very much doubt there is any foul play involved. Unfortunately, electrical failure could be a cause, but we wouldn't speculate. We'll leave that to the South African Maritime Safety Authority and the fishing company to investigate. I think at the moment the focus is on the 26 fishermen, the commendations to everyone involved in this, and now the vessel itself that is docked on the outside of the Hout Bay Harbour Pier. Cape Town Fire and Rescue Services have contained the blaze. The South African Maritime Safety Authority, the salvage company, and Fire and Rescue Services remain on scene, and their focus now is to contain any environmental outfall. Understandably, an 80-ton vessel that NSRI were able to hold off shore of Scarborough in pretty rough sea conditions, using the sea currents to aid them to hold her offshore so that she didn't run aground, averting a maritime environmental disaster. And then for the Strandloper, the Transnet National Ports Authority tugboat, to come and safely collect her, take over that tow from NSRI Hout Bay and safely tow her to Hout Bay Harbour, where now the focus is on containing any potential diesel, oil, spillage or outfall. And then, like I say, commendations to the crew, the fishing company itself, and our concern that these fishermen need to be redeployed so that they can carry on working.
Yeah. Before we get to the point of redeployment, Craig, let's talk a little bit about the condition of these 26 fishermen. It's not easy to be taken off a boat, especially the one that has caught fire. Do we know about the condition, the medical condition of these 26 fishermen? Are they okay? Are they going in for medical treatment? Anybody suffering from smoke inhalation and the effects thereof? What is the situation looking like?
Yeah, so there we are absolutely, everybody involved. Maritime Rescue Coordination Centre, the Emergency Services, NSRI, everybody absolutely ecstatic that these 26 fishermen are safe and not injured, despite having to abandon a vessel. Really, commendations to the skipper and crew. That is first and foremost for successfully abandoning a vessel in rough sea conditions under very trying circumstances. And no injuries, and I think for everyone involved, we are all over the moon about that.
Craig, we are looking at a loss of, fortunately, not lives, but now potentially money. I mean, in terms of monetary value, what does this kind of damage caused in the pocket?
No, so that's not really for NSRI ourselves to get involved in that. Understandably, that will be the focus going forward. The real concern here is 26 fishermen, that their vessel that they were working on is now not in service. The hopes are that this vessel can be restored and refloated and go back to work, and that all 26 fishermen are redeployed to other fishing vessels in the meantime until they can get back on their boat. The hopes are that this vessel itself, she's a beautiful vessel, the Olivia Marie, and our hopes are that she can be restored and put back into service.
Yeah, Craig, how long does that period usually take? I mean, obviously it's about assessing the extent of the damage and then into, obviously, the reconstruction process. But when we're talking here about the redeployment of these fishermen, you're absolutely right here. The big concern becomes livelihoods, as much as you are, ecstatic that lives were able to be saved. But in this case, though, for everything to return back to normal, in inverted commas, how long are we looking at? Is it a case of months or is it a case of a year?
Yeah. So I don't actually know that answer. We'll stay in touch with the fishing company, most definitely, and maybe be able to report that back to you. But at this stage, I don't actually know that answer. I hope so as soon as possible.
We so hope so too.
Yeah, we really do hope soon as possible. But Craig, thank you so much for your honesty, your candidness, and we appreciate you just coming on and just talking to us about, of course, the latest that has happened so far in terms of the 26 fishermen that have been saved. And we are very grateful, I think I speak on behalf of a lot of people, that they really have been saved. So we'll leave it there with you this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. That is the NSRI spokesperson, Craig Lambinon, just talking to us, of course, about the 26 fishermen who have been saved from that particular vessel that did catch fire. So we move